How E&O carriers evaluate your brokerage. As we move deeper into risk management, we now shift from understanding E&O coverage to understanding how E&O insurance carriers evaluate your brokerage. This is a critical distinction. It is not enough to simply carry insurance. Carriers actively assess how well your brokerage operates. These evaluations directly impact your premiums, coverage, and even whether you remain insurable. This section builds directly on Section 16 by showing that your day-to-day supervision and compliance determine how protected you really are. The hierarchy of standards. What matters most? E&O carriers evaluate brokerages based on a hierarchy of standards, ranked by importance. These include statutory law, common law, public regulation, representations made by the parties, the experience and skill of the professional, industry practices, trade association standards, and even community expectations. This reinforces a powerful concept. Your conduct is judged from multiple angles, not just by one rule or one law. A broker must operate with a complete understanding of all these layers. Vicarious liability, the broker's greatest exposure. One of the most important legal concepts in this section is vicarious liability. This doctrine holds one party responsible for the actions of another due to their relationship. In real estate, this means that a broker can be held liable for the actions of their licensees, even if the broker did nothing wrong. This is one of the strongest arguments for strict supervision systems. You are not just responsible for what you do, you are responsible for what your agents do. Understanding tort liability, the foundation of claims. The term tort refers to a civil wrong that causes harm to another party. Most real estate lawsuits fall under tort law, including negligence, misrepresentation, and breach of fiduciary duty. This connects directly back to earlier sections. Failure in disclosure, supervision, or communication often leads to tort-based claims. Liability by association, when success increases risk. Interestingly, statistics show that the agents most likely to be sued are often experienced, high-producing agents. These agents typically handle more transactions, operate with greater independence, and may oversee teams. This creates increased exposure. Additionally, brokers are often named in lawsuits alongside these agents due to vicarious liability. This reinforces a key takeaway: more production equals more risk if not properly supervised. Perception and the legal process. Winning Starts Early studies show that jurors often form opinions early in a case, sometimes during opening statements. This highlights the importance of documentation, professionalism, and consistency. A well-documented file and clear policies can shape the narrative before the case even begins. In many cases, perception is as powerful as evidence. Emerging risks, regulatory and criminal exposure. In some cases, real estate violations can escalate beyond civil liability into regulatory or even criminal investigations. Issues such as fraud, false advertising, misuse of funds, or violations of federal laws can trigger investigations that may not be covered by E&O insurance. This reinforces the importance of compliance. Insurance cannot protect against every risk. Broker advice versus legal reality, a dangerous conflict. There are situations where a broker's advice may conflict with the law. In these cases, licensees must be cautious. Following incorrect guidance can expose both the agent and the broker to liability. This raises an important question. Does your E&O policy cover bad advice from a broker? The answer is not always clear, which reinforces the need for accurate, law-based decision-making. What E&O does not cover? Understanding the gaps. E&O insurance does not cover all risks. Many policies exclude defamation, false advertising, bodily injury, vehicle accidents, and trust account shortages. This is why brokers must carry additional insurance policies, such as general liability and auto coverage. This section connects back to earlier discussions. Risk management is layered, not singular. Additional risk management tools. Beyond insurance. Smart brokers go beyond insurance by implementing additional protections. These include requiring agents to carry proper auto insurance, recommending home warranties to clients, and using written acknowledgments to document decisions. These tools reduce disputes and provide additional layers of protection. The key takeaway is clear: the best defense is prevention, supported by documentation. Real-world example: vicarious liability in action. Imagine a top-producing agent fails to disclose a known defect in a property. The buyer files a lawsuit. Even if the broker had no direct involvement, they are still named in the lawsuit due to vicarious liability. If the brokerage lacks proper supervision systems, training, or documentation, the broker's defense becomes significantly weaker. This reinforces the ultimate lesson: your systems are your shield. How this section connects forward. This section ties together E&O insurance, supervision, and legal liability into a complete risk framework. It reinforces that brokers must think beyond individual transactions and focus on the entire operation of the brokerage. As we move into the final sections, we will bring everything together into a complete supervision and risk management strategy. The goal is not just to avoid mistakes, but to build a brokerage that is structured to withstand them. Strong systems create strong protection. Online discussion. Question 1. What is vicarious liability and why is it important for brokers? Answer. Vicarious liability holds brokers responsible for the actions of their agents, even if the broker was not directly involved. Question 2. Why do E&O carriers evaluate brokerage operations? Answer. Because the level of supervision, compliance, and risk management directly impacts the likelihood of claims. Question 3. Does E&O insurance cover all types of liability? Answer. No. Many policies exclude certain risks such as defamation, bodily injury, and criminal acts.